Regardless of what your belief system is, regardless if you're spiritual, if you're religious, if you practice magic, or if you don't practice magic, whatever you consider yourself, I want you to stop and I want you to watch this video. Now, I've been doing a segment where probably about 4 videos in now. The keys to self-development and self-mastery from a magical perspective, but also for the mundane. I know that some people get all cringe and, when they hear the word magic or even the word sorcery and things like that. So in this video, I actually wanted to explain what I mean by magic and how this can benefit the world at large, not just people who proclaim to practice magic. So, quick disclaimer, when you do watch my content and you learn anything, if you pick up anything from me, you do have to realize that I do speak from a very philosophical standpoint, from a very psychological standpoint, and from a left-hand path perspective, okay? Luciferian left-hand path perspective. Let's just get that out the way. But that should not deter you and scare you from listening to what I have to say, because a lot of that is misconceptions on what the left-hand path is all about and what the Luciferian doctrine is all about, and all these other paths related on the left-hand path is about. People think it's more woo than it actually is. So I like to start with that. I like to start with saying that in all honesty, as somebody who has studied the lighter paths and gone through all that, gone through the religious phase, went through all that, and is now on the path that I'm on, I know without a shadow of a doubt that some definitely religious and some lighter paths and traditional spiritual paths are more woo and abstract and out there and esoteric than the left-hand path. So let's get into what the magical path actually means and why you should understand this and how it affects everybody's life. We believe that self-deification is the number one important thing in any type of system. Whatever you do, you should seek to become your self-deified the self-deified version of you. Now, when we say deified, we are not talking about the deity, the Christian deity, Yahweh. We're not talking about God in that sense. Common sense would tell you if somebody was to pull a weapon out on you right now to use it to harm you and unalive you, you probably will not be here the next day. We understand that we are in this physical shell and we are limited within this physical perspective. However, we also understand that we're the ones that created that. We knew what type of life we were going to have. We knew what type of blocks and limitations we were going to have coming into the world. And self-deification, therefore, becomes the unveiling of that, of the illusion, because we're in the land of illusion. It's unveiling of that. It's pulling that away. It's ripping the ego so that we can see clearly what we are, who we are, and what we're doing and where we're supposed to be going. Your path then becomes stepping higher and higher and higher and higher into your power. Yes, with that power, you are under the guise and you are under the mercy of the universal law. Self-deification isn't trying to become more powerful than what we are. It is trying to ascertain and unlock our power and know what that power is, because we all have a power and we all have a certain purpose and a certain place in this universe. So if that is the mission, then magic is then the tool to use to unlock this mission, to unlock this purpose, to unlock this reality. Is there esoteric properties to magic? Yes. Is there rituals and candles and incense and pictures of deities and dancing and whirling and drums and all this kind of stuff, chanting and mantras and trance and yes, herbs and this and that, colors and yes, absolutely. So all these things are included. But understand that these are just tools, and in our later videos, we're going to talk about method. We're actually going to talk about why magic don't work, why sometimes it works for you, sometimes it don't, right? We're going to get into all that. But yes, these things are a property of it, and so when people see these things, it deters them, it scares them. That's too woo for me, that's too ew. I don't practice all that. I just believe in Jesus Christ. Okay, that's fine. You can believe in Jesus Christ. But I'm here to tell you that you do need to understand the fundamentals of magic and what I mean by when I say magic anyway, because this does affect you as a whole. So the method of magic is what keeps people in fear. The method, the methodology, the things that they see, the things that Hollywood teaches them, and that's there for a reason. But uncovering it, that's not the true essence of what magic actually is. So even though you may hear me say big words like magic, sorcery, things like that, it scares you. It scares you because you have a thought of what you think it is. But in all honesty, and the reason why I created this segment, because I want you to know that magic is self-development. It is self-development. It is self-mastery. And that is your mission. That is why you are here. Right? So the word magic, anything that is magic is anything that is done to cause change in one's own life, be it inward or outwardly. Do you see how that you can tie that to everything? Under those pretenses, you working out and trying to lose weight and having a weight goal and a body goal is magic. You studying and reading and doing things so that you can get a certain degree, so that you can get a certain job and be in a certain tax bracket after college is magic. Anything that you do to produce change, to cause a change to happen, is magic. Whether it is a change inwardly or a change outwardly, you are working magic. Oh, get this. I forgot this part of the definition. By use of your own will. So when you exude this change with willpower, because most of us have to use willpower, especially in the beginning, to push that change by your will, that is magic. Now, most of us know about creating change on the mental plane in the physical. But other magicians who are self-proclaiming magicians will cause change too on the astral planes, the etheric planes, and even the spiritual planes. And the mundane person will look at us like, oh my God, you're talking about you're playing God here. Well, isn't that the same thing that you do when you cause change on the mental planes? So what most people do is they take what they've learned as a child and with their family and things have taught them, and they take it at face value, and that's what they use to build their lives upon. And what tends to happen is they're doing magic subconsciously, but because they don't understand that what they're doing is actually magic, they then don't have the tools, and they have not developed the tools to maneuver it the way that it should be maneuvered to their greatest benefit. So what happens with energy that's unmaneuvered? It goes to its default. And what is its default? Chaos. Any energy that is not maneuvered right goes to chaos. This is the heart of my message. This is why it's important for you to realize that you being a being on this earth, multidimensional being, that is both physical and spiritual at the same time. Just because you choose to denounce it and not adhere and turn a deaf eye to it does not mean it's not there. You are magical by your very nature. Do not let the words magic and spiritual and sorcery and all these words pump fear in you and scare you. Because when you break it down, you will see a very practical version of what these things actually are. Media and your own projections make these things sound more woo and oogly-boogly than it actually is. And the heart of this message is, if you do not understand that and grasp that and use these keys to self-mastery, self-development from a magical perspective, the energy that is governing and moving you will go into chaos. This is why you are in chaos now and you're stuck in it. So you might as well use the tools that are given to you. People, oh, the God's going to handle it. God's going to fix it. Yeah. The God that you're talking about gave you these tools to fix it, to handle it yourself. It's not going to come down and wave no magical wand. If it was, it would have done it already. It's giving you the tools to do it. So you might as well use the tools. Magic is not what you think it is. But with that simplified version of what magic actually is, take your magic very seriously. Because that is what's going to determine the outcome of your life. Energy that is not manipulated into something that you desire it to be will go back into its default form, which is chaos. And your whole life will be consumed by it. And you will live a miserable life. And then you will have to come back and do it all over again until you get it right. That's the reality. And that's what I'm trying to get you guys to see with the content that I make, especially with this segment. So y'all stay tuned for the next video of keys to self-mastery, self-development from a magical and a mundane perspective.